Welcome to No Todo Se Cura con Vix, your go-to destination for Latinas getting real with their healing journey. We are so thrilled to have you here with us today. First off, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our listeners. Your support, your loyalty mean the world to us. Without you, none of this would even be possible. We also want to take a moment to express how much your support matters. Every download, share, and like helps us grow and reach more people who might benefit from our content. So, if you enjoy what you hear today, I encourage you to hit that download button and share our episodes with your friends, your family, and anyone who you think might enjoy them. Your actions truly make a difference in helping us expand our podcast family. So once again, thank you for being a part of our journey with us. Let's continue to learn, grow, and explore together. Now, let's jump right into today's episode.
Everybody, welcome back to No Todo Se Cura con Vix. This is our third season. Yay! Amazing. We're so happy to be back, and we're so happy to, give you some of our episodes with us too. We're gonna have a great season. We're gonna have some amazing guests, but you're gonna hear a lot from us as well, which I know you guys love. Before we start this episode, we want to take this moment to thank some amazing people that have donated to our Buy Me a Coffee page.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Like we said in the other episode, our last episode, this Buy Me a Coffee is not to buy us a coffee. We can get our own coffee. But it takes a lot to run a podcast to, give you these amazing topics. There's so many things that we have to do. We have platforms we need to pay for, website that we're building, equipment for us and our guests. And we really want to thank those amazing people that have been helping us by donating to our Buy Me a Coffee page. And if you are feeling inclined to do so yourself, in the show notes, we will have the link to our Buy Me a Coffee page. And we also want to take this moment to thank the amazing people that have been downloading all of our episodes. We're close to what?
Like almost 1,500. Actually, 1,499. What a beautiful number.
Yeah. So we really want to thank everybody that has been taking the time to listen to our episodes and actually download them. That's really, really helpful. Thank you. We love our listeners. We love, sharing our experiences and our thoughts and everything with you guys. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We are so thrilled for the support and the love we've been getting, and for this beautiful community we've already built. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And today we're just gonna jump right into it. Today we have a good episode. And the title of our episode is Winter Blues and Spring Dreams, Navigating Seasonal Energy Drain. And even though winter has come and gone, we're recording this episode in April. So we're still not, we're still dealing with the foggy, rainy weather. Today is warm, tomorrow is cold. I refuse to wear a coat. I froze a couple of times,
Yep.
but it's April. I'm not putting my coat on. But in this episode, we want to talk about this past winter season, which for me, and I know for you ladies, because we have spoken about this among ourselves, it was a very energetically draining season. It felt like for me personally, like I had to struggle to just get basic things done.
I feel you.
Sometimes I had to be like, okay, I need to go take a bath. Let's go take a bath. Let's go do this, because we're not those kinds of people. But it was particularly hard, and we're wondering if this was just us, or if have you guys felt this about this season, yeah, it's crazy.
It is. I feel like I'm still recuperating. I feel like I'm, even though it's April and we've been lucky, we've been having like, for the most part, sunshine, even though a lot of days it rains. And so even now, like I'm trying to recuperate. I felt like January came in 2024. I was super excited about 2024. And it was just like so draining physically, emotionally, mentally. I would force myself to do the things that in the past I would enjoy doing. Like I forced myself to work out. I forced myself to meditate. I forced myself to even like do my job. Right? Like it was just so hard. It just felt like everything was like dragging myself to do it. I didn't want to go out. I barely went out. I barely socialized in the wintertime. I just stood home.
Yeah.
I know that one of the episodes we talked about, and I even asked you guys, I was like, am I going through like seasonal depression? Because I've been feeling it so much. I didn't even realize that this has been a pattern of mine. I've noticed that every winter I literally do hibernate. I don't really socialize. I almost go through this solo time where I just need to be alone. I need to reflect. I am a little sad. I am a little bit like low energy. And then I feel guilty for feeling this way. Like I'm not supposed to be this way because I'm usually the complete opposite. I'm still struggling because just like Maggie, I refuse to wear a coat. So then I almost get sick and I have to be fighting that too. So April is filled with so many different seasons too. Like we get it all, like everything all at once, and there's a lot
Yeah.
to deal with.
It's fun, good that you mentioned how like in the winter you hibernate. I feel like I do the same. You know, I like in the winter, I enjoy to be home. Like it's not that I don't like cloudy weather. I actually like cloudy weather. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy
Mm-hmm.
cloudy weather because I love to just like be by myself and, watch a movie or something. That that weather to me brings so much calmness, whereas the summer, like my favorite season is spring, because to me the summer is just too loud. It's too much energy. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
lot going on, and if the summer to me energetically feels very overwhelming, right? And then winter
Yeah.
can be just a little bit too low. Spring is like the perfect amount. I wish it could be spring forever. And
Yeah.
if you go back to like Eastern philosophy, the concept of yin and yang, which represents the balance between opposing forces, such as like the light and the light and the dark. It's our energy. There's a yin and there's a yang, or as some people like to refer, you have the male energy, which is the active energy, and then you have the female energy, which is the most nurturing, you know
Yeah.
side. But in that philosophy, winter is often associated with the yin energy, which is characterized by stillness, introspection. Did I say that
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And just a conservation of energy. So hibernating in the winter, just like to it too. That's why, it's just that we don't live in that kind of world. We've been programmed to, be the complete opposite, to always be on the go, go, go. But our bodies, like our being, knows that in this moment we're supposed to have stillness. And the reason why we're supposed to have stillness is because when spring comes, which represents rebirth, and summer, which represents just, activity and being out there, we're supposed to have already conserved that energy in the winter to be able to give it to the summer. But that's why we're constantly exhausted, because we're never, you know, conserving that energy. And for me, it felt like this winter, like my body's like, no, we're supposed to be hibernating. We're supposed to, and so it was really hard for me to like go against that. Yo estaba tirada muchas veces. Yeah.
You give me Netflix and you give me popcorn and you give me darkness, and I was there watching murder mysteries by myself.
Yeah. But you know what? It's so interesting what Maggie was saying, because you're absolutely right in regards to wintertime. Our body is the moment to hibernate, to rest, to be in stillness. But unfortunately, in the society that we live in, we have been told that we don't do that. We have been told that you're constantly having to work, that you constantly have to be busy, that you constantly have to be productive. It's, capitalism, you know, in
Yeah,
full effect. And
yeah.
and I think that's the reason why, when we're trying to like slow down and our body's like, no, you need to rest. You actually need to hibernate. We're fighting it. We're
Hmm.
fighting it. And I think that's when also the seasonal depression starts kicking in, because you are pretty much fighting with nature. You're really doing that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why it even becomes like even much more low energy, because when I would remind myself like, all right, my body just wants some stillness right now. I don't have to socialize all the time. I don't have to be busy all the time. And I would just let it be. It would be the most wonderful day. I didn't feel low energy. I didn't feel like down. It felt just so easy and easy flow. But in our society, plus in our community, hay que siempre estar haciendo oficio.
Ellos siempre algo que
Eso tú
hacer.
tienes.
Yeah. And finding the strength to do these things on a daily basis, like you said, when we're fighting against it, brings so much guilt too. Like you're always like fighting within yourself. Oh, why am I sitting here? I should be doing this. I could be doing that. I could be checking off everything on my list. Y uno se queda como like, I feel like even mentally, it's just more stressful than anything to like sit back and relax and accept that this is what we need, where we need to be within ourselves in hibernation. And I love the way you
Yeah.
said it, because we need to discuss this more. People need to know that hibernating, you must do it during the winter. It's part of
Yeah.
what was done back in the olden days. We need it.
Yeah, it's part of it's part of nature's cycle. Hibernation is not only for bears, you know.
Hmm.
But it's hard to do when you have small children, to like,
Yeah.
honor that, like, all right, I'm gonna do nothing, because kids are constantly, like, they're constantly like requiring you to do something. And then you have the guilt of like, God, I feel like a bum. I haven't done anything. And I have this kid. Look at him. He's a bum too. He hasn't done anything either. I'm a, I'm a, I'm a terrible parent. It was hard. Yeah.
And it's crazy
Yeah,
you
it's
say, you have a child, like a small child, and I feel the same way even with grown kids, because I could be like, maybe I should like, do more with them. But they're like in the same space too. And I had to like learn to allow them, because my niece would literally be like, do we have plans this weekend? And the days that I'm like, no, she's like, yes. She's happy to hibernate and do nothing as well. So I'm like, let me just accept this. We're both be bums.
yeah, I guess it's all about, they're going through it too, because they're human. And I think it's kind of like normalizing it, right? Like today is going to be a day where we're just going to relax. We're going to probably watch Netflix. We might read a book. We are probably staying in PJs, right? Like normalizing it for them. and letting them probably know, like, this is what happens sometimes in the wintertime because it's cold and it gets dark early. We have very low energy. Our body needs to rest. That's an opportunity to teach them how to slow down and how to listen to their body. We didn't get that. So that's why for us, it's such a challenge when it comes. Like, we don't know what to do. And then we feel really bad and guilty. Like, oh my God, just una bona, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how can I do this? And it's really about learning how to take care of yourself. Like, I was listening to a podcast the other day, which was so fascinating. They were talking about sleep. And actually,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about how all of us sort of like have our own sleeping patterns that is healthy for our body. That whole bullshit about you need to go to bed by 10 p.m. and make sure that you get up by 6 a.m. is bullshit. That there are actually people that cannot go to bed that early. That their body
Wow.
requires for them to go to bed at 12:30 and get up a little bit
Mm.
later to be much more productive the following day. And so they were talking about this whole theory of forcing people to go to bed early and get up early. And then those people who are not early birds are constantly feeling like they're bums, or they're not committed, or they're lazy because they just can't seem to get up that early or go to bed that early. And
Mm.
the truth is that it's sort of like a DNA thing. It's not that they're not committed, they don't know how to be motivated or take care of themselves. It's just that's not their sleeping pattern. But once again, we have, as a society, created this idea that everyone has to go to bed at the same time to get up at the same time and do a fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy
Yes.
because I've noticed, like, even for myself, and it's funny you say that, for myself, I require a certain amount of sleep. My daughter requires a lot more than me. And then my niece requires way less than both of us. And then I've seen that within us. When I oversleep, I'm exhausted. I feel more tired than anything. I need to be out of my bed at a certain time to feel good. And when I
Yeah.
overextend that time and I'm like, "Ay, let me try to sleep." First of all, my body doesn't even allow me to, like, even do it. But on those days that I'm like, "I'm gonna indulge in sleep, and I'm gonna try to milk this as much as I can," I'm more exhausted. My body just I'm just like, the whole day I'm kind of foggy, and I can't even take naps at times because it really screws me up. Like, I can't concentrate. I got a headache. So it's so funny how you mentioned that because I never put that into, like, perspective for myself and those around me.
Yeah. They were even saying
Mhm.
about, like, thinking about, they did a amazing example where is if you're an early person and you got to go to bed at 10:30, right? Because your body's already asking you to go to bed at 10:30,
Mhm.
and you are forced to go to bed at 12:30 and get up at 6. See how that feels. It is the same thing for those who their body needs sleep by 12:30, 12 o'clock, 11 p.m.
Mhm.
That's the struggle that they go through every day.
Mm.
That's the
Mm.
struggle. That's the one who they're constantly like, I'm so tired. I'm not a morning person. I can't do this. And it's not, and they really believe, like, working with clients, some of them believe like, it's just that I don't know what, they believe something is wrong with them because it's so
Yeah.
difficult for them to be productive in the morning or so early in the morning. And that's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is just not the case. So it's all these things that we have been sort of kind of like programmed, that it's just what Maggie was saying, that it's really not part of our own human experience in our body, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So what do you think are ways to combat these winter blues? What do you think we should, like, what would you, or how did you, better said, because we're not experts in this, but what did you do and what have you done to kind of like overcome this feeling? I had to, like, literally have this, like, separation anxiety with my bed. Like, please, I don't want to leave you. I want to stay in bed. I love my covers. But I had to go to work and do what I had to do to pay my bills. So, how did you introduce, or what did you do differently? Like, my meditation looked differently. I'm more active in yoga, and my yoga was more restorative. In my mornings, instead of journaling, I started kind of like recording myself because I was so lazy to even pick up a freaking pen. So I would record like what was on my mind. My intentions were shorter, like just get up. Just get up and do what I have to do, and you'll be fine. What would you recommend other people would do, or what did you do that may help other people?
I would say like you, it was doing things that were not as fast. Like, I would go to the gym and whatnot, but it would yeah, it would do like I did some like yin yoga at home, or sometimes I would do like I'll have like my to-do list and do like a few things and take a break, and I would nap. I make sure because that napping really helps. Even if it's just like 20 minutes, you wake up and you like so, fresh, and so that napping worked. And so yeah, so those were the things that I did. Like, and when I was by myself, like when Mateo was in school and Will was at work, sometimes I would just sit down in silence, or like, yeah,
Yeah,
because those things helped a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
for me, it's pretty much the same. I think, and it was so interesting because I was going through it with also my clients, and it was the whole idea of like self-care, self-care and how it looks different in the wintertime. If you try to do the same self-care you do in the summertime, in the wintertime, it ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna have the same energy. So coming to the realization that self-care has to be adjusted. Like in the summertime, I love outdoor hiking, walking, socializing. I'm looking forward to working out, all of those things. And it just feels good. That
Hmm.
energy in the summer that I have, I don't have it in the wintertime. So if I force my body to do that, that's gonna be disaster. That's gonna make it even harder physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So it was learning okay, so what's my self-care in the wintertime? How do I listen to my body while I'm still taking care of it? So
Mm.
for me, it was, like you said, taking naps, allowing my body. There were times where I was like, I need an additional 15, 20 minutes, and allowing my body to be in bed, not forcing it. Um, Journaling, just like you said, sometimes I would talk to myself, like have talk to my little girl, do my inner child work in my mind
Hmm.
instead of writing it. Taking a moment to make my coffee in the morning and just sit and kind of have a conversation with myself, right?
Yeah,
Um, I was okay socializing maybe once out of the month.
yeah,
I just didn't want to socialize at the moment, and I had to be okay with that, right?
yeah.
Um, and my eating, right? Trying to eat as healthy as possible. Jennifer always has told me that in the wintertime, your body needs warm food. So I would give it lots of warm food, um, and just really being okay that my body wanted to slow down. When I accepted that, it felt like 2024 felt a little bit much better to manage, much better to manage. But if not, it just felt too overwhelming. And also, like you said, it felt like seasonal depression,
Hmm.
because it's just that I was pretty much fighting against what my body wanted in that moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what I did.
yeah. It looks like a lot of slowing
Yeah.
down. Hmm.
Yeah, another thing that I did this winter, maybe it was not slowing down, but I did like start to take care of my body. So like I went to all my doctor's appointments. I went, I saw my, I did like my physical, and I got like referrals for a whole bunch of things. I got, committed to see the dentist, which to me, I had braces as a teenager, so I don't have a good experience with dentists, so I hate the dentist, but I was like, I'm definitely, gonna do this. So that's one thing that I did do in the winter, was kind of
Yeah, yeah.
That's a perfect
Um,
time to take care of your doctors and health and all of that. Yeah, to go and make sure that your body is good, you know? It's
yeah.
a perfect
And
time.
speaking of doctors too, it's like the perfect time to kind of share these thoughts and what you're feeling emotionally, physically, mentally with, a professional health person or a therapist or a counselor. It's important to seek help because sometimes we have these unwanted thoughts. Sometimes it's a little deeper than seasonal depression because if you do not focus on that self-care and you do not push yourself to get out there and do your priorities, right? And go on with your daily life, it can get worse. So seeking professional help is very important. But
Even I, like,
mhm,
usually I see my therapist once a month, and during the winter time, I see her more frequently, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
just to, yeah, to have that space to talk about the experience that you're going through, to have someone also hold the space for you and normalize what you're going through and giving you some insight of how to help yourself in that moment, right? Because yes, you don't have to go through this alone. Like, winter
no,
times don't have to be lonely and depressing. Like, winter time, you can see it as a moment of being restorative, right? A
recharging.
moment, yes, recharging, a moment of, I'm going to recharge, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to tap into my emotions, my body, and
Mm,
taking care of yourself, because spring comes and then you're excited. You want to be ready to be able to connect in a healthy way with others, connect with nature in a healthy, loving way. So see winter
yeah,
as a moment of me, taking care of me, so that when the spring comes and the summer comes, I have that energy, you
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm. Very important stuff. Um, and I am so glad we're talking about this because I know a lot of people that go through these ups and downs and then again don't really know how to voice it. Sometimes they don't even understand that they're going through this. They're just walking through life this way and then you can see it in the way they behave and the way they're acting. You're like, "Oh my gosh, like you need a nap." Or you need a therapist. Or, we do need to find reasons to be grateful and thankful and just accept where you are and seek help. But now that we are approaching the springtime and the summertime, shifting, and navigating through these beautiful moments where, there's a lot of rain and then things start blossoming. That's the way we are as humans. We start like the sun really brings me happiness. When I feel that there's a sunshine coming through my window, I am a different person. I absolutely love it. And it helps me wake up. And I'm like, I have like a little pep in my step and I want to listen to music. And my self care, my routines look way more different. What do you guys feel when you feel like that shift in just the season itself?
um well, for I think a lot of people might experience this. Once spring starts to come, you get more excited, right? You start what people call what? The spring cleaning, right?
Mm,
And it's because spring birth. So you're like, I need to change everything. I want to paint. I want to do this. I want to do that. You're rebirthing, right? Um, and you know, that's why we started to feel those things. So yeah, for me, when that sit, that like shift of change of like season happen is like I'm more excited to do work. Like this year I started like reorganizing my kitchen. I bought like a whole bunch of like things for my pantry. I'm doing like this wallpaper thing in my house. Like these are all things that are spring like things, you know? Like in the winter I was like, do I need to shower today? Yes, I do. Let and during spring it's more like, you know, I'm like excited to do things, and that's what happens. And for me particularly this spring, I've been wanting to do this for years now and I never have. I really want to do, and I hope I do. I say every year, but I hope that this year I actually do. I want to do the Ayurveda cleanse, which
Mm.
is perfect. It's you can do it whenever, but it's perfect if you're doing during that winter spring transition, because that's a big energetic transition for us, or between that like summer fall, because that's another
Mm.
big one. And then what it
Mm-hmm.
does is it cleanses your body, it cleanses your energy, it restores your organs, it gets rid of like
That sounds amazing. That really does. Yes. So, I was just thinking when you Maggie was talking, when we had Jennifer, our guest, a few weeks ago, she mentioned that 2023 was the year of the rabbit, and that means that we're constantly like rabbits. You imagine rabbits are hopping and running and having a lot of energy. And I think that 2023 was the year after COVID that we all were like, okay, finally we get to do whatever we want to do, right? Finally. And it was all that socializing and that running around and going back to work and going back to the office. And we took a lot of energy. It was the rabbit year. And I think also that impact 2024 winter, where it was like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Oh
So
yeah,
even
drained.
now, like, yeah, drained, completely drained. So even now in April, like I love the sunshine, like Heidi was saying. I love it. It really motivates me, gets me excited. Um, but it's still, there's this shift, right? The rain, and then it gets really cold. Yo no sé cómo fue que
Bipolar.
yo nací. No, yo no sé cómo fue que
Bipolar.
yo. How was it that I was born and raised in New York City with this weather?
It made you
Because
resilient.
as I age, I dislike it more and more. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the fact that this weather's so unpredictable. The other day, I was outside. I went to work out, and it was rainy and cold. When I was done working out with my trainer, it was sunny and fucking hot that I had to take off my coat. I went to see my mother-in-law, and then it was pouring. Then you get out, head home, and it's freezing like it's
Mm-hmm.
wintertime. And I'm like, how can you experience all four seasons in a matter of like 6 hours?
Yeah, all you needed was the freaking snow. Coñazo.
Yes. And so even for me, like my experience at April, like I love spring. My favorite season is summer. I love summer. I love
Mm-hmm.
summer. Spring, I'm still recuperating. So there are
Summer's
moments that
so
I'm like super energetic and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm so excited. And then there's moments that I like, I need to chill. Like
yeah.
I really do. Like one of the things that I've noticed is because of the shift of the weather and how it makes me feel, even when I set like lunch or brunch with my friends, before I would set them like weeks in ahead. Like we'll do this day at this time. Lately, what I've been doing is it's like, let's talk about this in the morning or the day before because
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm learning how to listen to my body.
I love that you
I'm
said
just
that,
learning.
Jesse.
Yes.
I've noticed that I'm like that too. Let's revisit
Mhm.
this.
Yes. Yes. And I remember like I have plans with a great friend tomorrow and we were trying to plan what we were going to do on Monday or Tuesday. And I was like, girl, let's talk about this Friday night or Saturday morning and see how we're feeling. And she's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's also
Mhm.
trusting your body and allowing your body to speak to you and tell you what it needs. I'm
Yeah.
learning that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just drag ourselves and we're really not in the mood just to, get there and be there with those people that you love. And you look, obviously, you wanted to hang out with them. You've been planning it for a whole month and it's non negotiable. But I'm guilty of doing the same thing. I'll be so excited. Y yo digo, how the hell? What was I thinking on Tuesday? Because I'm not feeling like this on Saturday at all. You don't want to do those things. Your body is just not letting you get there. But just like Maggie was saying, in terms of like the winter, the seasons, I am a spring, fall type of gal. I like to feel like in between. I feel like
Same.
summer is so intense with social events, and you're out there and you're
It's so
draining yourself.
overwhelming.
It is very overwhelming. And yo quiero estar en todo coro. So then I don't even know how to say no. And then winter,
A mí me encanta my summer.
ay, ay, ay. Either winter is just too
Girl, but
depressing
that's
and
what,
too
pero,
sad.
pero por eso es que, Heidi, tú tienes que, that's why we're learning how to manage our energy in the winter and in the spring. Para que
But
entonces
I
in the
feel,
summertime,
no,
You know
para
what it is
me,
with me? It's not even that.
the fall and
I'm
the spring gives me a little bit of both. I feel like I am just
yes.
it's the perfect time for me to be social and then relax, and it gives me some rain where I'm like, yes, it's raining. I get to just snuggle. And it's a little cold. Oh, it's so nice and sunny. Let me go for a walk. It gives me a little bit of everything on both days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on both seasons. I
Yeah.
feel like it's
I'm
my space.
I'm like you. I'm an
Yeah.
in-between girl. But my favorite all-time favorite season is the fall. And I am
Fall
so
is
disappointed
beautiful.
because the fall is going away. You just get less and less and less of fall, and I love the fall. Okay? Winter and summer, and sometimes, like, when it comes to summer, after July 4th, I'm over summer. I'm like, it could be fall right now.
What?
I'm over this. I do
You're
not
killing
know.
Jesse. You're killing Jesse so
After
slowly.
July 4th, I'm like, listen, it's too hot. It's too hot. There's way too many people outside. Everybody's energy outside, the energy of the sun. I'm just like, it's too much for me. I cannot do this. After July 4th, I'm like, that's it. Like, for me, summer could be May, June, July, fall, and I'll be like, this is amazing. This is my go do some barbecues and get your sweaters out because tomorrow is gonna be 50 degrees.
you know what it is?
Ay,
No,
ay,
you
ay.
know what this is what it is. You guys like the summer. I know you do because you're Dominican. And when you go to DR, you love that fucking sun and the
En
beach and
Santo
all.
Domingo.
You know what it
En
is?
Santo
This
Domingo.
is
Honestly, I cannot handle heat anymore.
you know what it is? For the most part, is that New York, it's once again the crazy weather. And we only get like what, 6 weeks of summer, to be honest with you. Like, because sometimes May and June comes in cold. And people get so excited about it's just a few weeks because then we know that we're going to the crazy ass weather that everyone is super excited. I think that's where all the energy is coming from. Todo el mundo está tratando de aprovechar the summer as much as they can. Go to the beach, connect, barbecue. Porque que New York weather, I'm sorry,
Mira,
I'm a New Yorker,
last
native New Yorker, but New York weather is horrible.
last summer we only had like 3 Saturdays in the summer that we can barbecue. Every fucking Saturday it
Exactly.
rained. Every Saturday it rained. Every weekend it rained.
Yes.
So everybody's plans kept on getting like canceled. Oh, we're gonna do a cookout. Canceled. Porque the rain. Y nadie quiere estar dentro de la casa. Everybody wants to go out. But like you said, I do
No.
agree with you in that. But I am not a summer girl. I'm sorry. No me forcing.
No, yo tampoco. And the last
I
time I
like
went to
going to
DR,
tropical. I
like I
like
went
going
to
to
DR
tropical
like
places.
I went to DR like 2 years ago. I guess yes. If like when we go to Samaná or we go to like a resort, muy bien.
I
Still
do
love my sun.
agree.
I still love
I
Tahiti.
like knowing that I can go somewhere sunny. Like when I know I'm going to DR, I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared to be casi en cuera. Dame mi bikini or my bathing suit, shorts. It doesn't matter. No vamos para una playa, no vamos para el campo, no vamos para cualquier sitio. Uno se siente bien. And you're really connected to nature. So I feel like that's a whole different thing too. When you're out there, you're really in Mother Nature. It's to the fullest, and touching trees, and you're grabbing fruits from a tree, and you're really embracing like the fresh air. And there's so much greenery, and there's so much like mountains and water and sea, and you're eating more organically because the food there is different. It's not like la porquería de aquí. So you're really more like, you feel so much better. It's not like summer in New York. Summer in New York, as much as we want the summer to be here and we want to connect, eso es como, like, tú no ves cómo está en Washington Heights cuando está de summer. De una vez la juca afuera, todo el mundo está afuera. Uno está tratando de pasar por ahí y todo el mundo en la calle, en el medio de la calle. Get out of my fucking way, I'm trying to get to work. Like, you're hot, you're exhausted, you're in the train, you're like, oh my God, I can't deal with it.
I see. And oye, when you go to playgrounds with your kid, now if you go to like Central Park, it's a little bit different. But you're hanging out because if you, ay Dios, y este muchacho y toda esta gente, and playground for children, what are you guys doing? Yes.
You see, that's once again proves my point. It's not the season. What the season brings, and where you're living, it's not a good thing. It's loud. People are out. It just gets obnoxious. It's not that you dislike the summer. It's what the summer looks like in New York City. Guys, think about it.
I went through my moments with heat like that, where it's just like I just couldn't handle it. I've gotten a lot better, but I couldn't handle heat to the point where it's just like I'd rather not go to places because I know I'm gonna de que un parque on an August day just to sit there de que
¿Y por qué
picnic.
no?
I
love
melt.
I know, Jessie, por Dios.
I love it. I get my blanket, my books.
I don't like to feel sweaty.
My little. I
don't like to sweat. Después que yo me baño, porque
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the summer.
Well, maybe I cannot deal with New Yorkers in the summer.
That's what
Maybe
it
it's
is. You can't deal with the New Yorkers in the summer.
I don't like the heat. Como
Yeah.
que tampoco puedo estar con mucha gente y mucha gente intensa también, como que me pone mala. Yeah. Intensity. I'm like,
Well-
oh, why are you tense?
So it's not the summer.
She's like, it's not the season, it's the people and then the environment, Maggie.
Yes.
But also like Heidi, I don't like to sweat. And then when you start wearing deodorants that are natural, right? Constantly like self-conscious, like, yo, do I smell? Because when you wear natural deodorant, you do sweat. You do sweat because it doesn't have the what is it called? The
antiperspirant,
which is what like I used to that. So when I start sweating, right? I'm like, now I'm sweating and I stink too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough
no me pasa
trying to
nada
go
de eso.
natural. Whatever, Jessie. Yeah, that's the way I feel, coño, Jessie. I don't feel like if my underarms are wet, I feel like como weird. I feel disgusted. I need to feel like not wetness, and those natural deodorants make you feel like, if you go from Dove to like natural deodorant, you feel the difference. And when I feel wet in between my underarms, I feel strange. Like I'm not being supported by my deodorant. That's all.
Well, I've been with, natural deodorants for a couple of years. So I know that at the beginning, when you go through the transition, it feels that way. And then your body kind of gets used to it. So I sweat, but not to that extreme, you know? I do, right? Like, cause I'm human, so I do sweat, but it's not to that extreme. To be honest with you, I don't even sweat a lot. Like when I work out with my trainer and he kicks my ass, I'll sweat, but I don't sweat like I'm supposed to sweat.
But you're
So
just a different kind of breed, so you
I don't
don't
know.
understand where we come from.
Yeah, you don't sweat a lot.
Yeah, I don't. I don't
Yeah.
sweat a lot. I sweat, but no. And then when I was going through the transition of the deodorant, which was a long time ago, I saw the difference, but my body has gotten used to that
I
deodorant.
guess I
So
haven't given myself enough time to like get used to it, because right away I'm like, I know I need to go back.
No, I easy that I do not like during the winter we take the ACs down except the one in our room because el thing me pone mala a mí también. Yo no puedo. Ese
Mm.
thing me pone a mí. And I'm like, I need the AC. And you see Will with the long sleeve, with a little hat on. I'm like, yo me estoy aficiando.
Durmiendo
Cuando a
with
mí
his
me dé
hat.
menopausa, this is
Separate
now.
bedrooms.
And pause, I'm going to be insoportable. Insoportable.
Which brings us back to like the whole point of like embracing. Let's stay focused because we're trying to show people that we're going to embrace the heat. Anyways, we're embracing the energy of warmth. We're embracing the energy of blossoming. And, you know, another thing that brings me happiness is seeing the flowers and the trees and everything blooming. It brings me joy. It brings me excitement. I am so like optimistic around that time. Everything is beautiful. Yo me vuelvo una pure hippie. Oh my God, love is love. I love everybody, everything. The sun, I love you, sun, even though it burns me. And I really like cultivate all of that. I want to like embrace it to this full because I am a spring baby too. So I enjoy those moments. Do you find that you like have different goals, different aspirations, different ways of looking at life when this time of the year starts coming into, fruition?
I feel like in the summertime, I feel very energetic. I have high energy in the summertime, and I'm excited. I'm motivated. Um, I want to do things outdoor. I want to be constantly outdoor. I want to be by nature. I want to be by the beach. I want to connect with others. I want to be able to do things with others, socialize. Um, I'm very energetic and happy in the summertime. That is my season. Whereas in the wintertime, as we were talking about, I slow down more. I want to just, it's more of a being with me. But when it comes to action, even like thinking about health wise, working out, eating, business ideas, I feel like I'm much more productive and more motivated and more committed in the summertime. Like I'm willing to try new things in the summertime. I'm willing
Me
to try
too.
new restaurants, new food. I'm willing to try new workouts. I'm willing to try new yoga. I'm open to new things in the summer. Mhm.
Yeah, same. Same. Like during this time, it's like I'm more optimistic about life, I would say. Like I can be like more goal or oriented.
I'm so glad that we've been able to discuss such an incredible topic. What do you think we can encourage our listeners in terms of how to face these moments when we're feeling the winter blues?
I think that it's just knowing yourself and knowing your body. I think one of the thing is throw away all the expectations. What you see on social media, what you see on Instagram, TikTok, like these whole individuals that are like, I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning and working out for 3 hours or meditating for 2 hours. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to do meal prep. That's all great if you can, but that's not everyone. That's just not how life goes. And it's all about listening to what you need, what your body needs, what you need emotionally, spiritually. If you need to slow down, right? But do it in a healthy manner. We're not saying, go under your covers for the whole winter and do nothing, but be mindful
Why?
about your self care. Your
I'm joking.
be mindful about your self-care. Be mindful of, I still have to move. I still have to move my body. It just might look a little different in the wintertime than in the summertime, right? I still
Yeah.
need to work, and process emotions and feelings. And it just might not look the same, where in the summertime, I'm excited to get my journal and go outside and write about my feelings. Maybe in the wintertime, it's about recording myself, or maybe it's just me talking to myself, but giving myself that moment to process my emotions and my feelings. It's just, we don't give up on self-care, because you're going to need
No.
it. It's just being realistic to what makes sense to you in the winter time. For me, it makes sense that I need to slow down. So that's what I do. I still take care of myself
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, mentally, but it looks completely different in the wintertime than in the summertime. And I think that's the piece that we
Hmm.
have to accept sometimes, because we make self-care like a task. I got to get up at 4:30. I got to work out. I got to do, and slow down. Even like, I'm learning how to slow down when I'm in my cycle,
Oh,
because that
that's a whole
also,
episode on
yes,
itself. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Even thinking about, how do I work out with my trainer when I'm in my cycle?
Hmm.
Because my
We're
body is
totally
telling me
different
something
people.
completely different. Hmm. And learning how to
And
do that.
we,
That's what I'm learning how
we,
to do now.
we're going to do an episode on this. OMG. This is a beautiful topic. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So even being mindful about how to take care of myself in my cycle,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I do. That's what I
Perfect.
recommend.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hmm.
You
Yep.
too, Maggie. What do you recommend?
Yeah. I would say, like, I will piggyback from that, listen to your body. It's, changing your routine to fit where you are at that point, energetically really helps. And if you see that, like, you're trying everything and you're just feeling very down and just depressed, then maybe, taking the time to speak to someone, a therapist, or to, maybe help you with that. That's also very helpful. And, one thing that I've learned is that knows nature knows where we're supposed to be in each season, and nature is going to help us. That's why in the fall, we're very, it's a change of leaves, it's a time where we might feel very like ungrounded. So what does nature give us? It gives us food for like grounding food. Nature give us, it gives us like, strawberries and like blueberries. Those are things to help you cool. So maybe, looking at like what's in seed diet can really definitely really helpful.
Yeah, definitely recognizing where you are emotionally, physically, and mentally. Definitely speaking to somebody um, when you're not feeling well, and you see that all the other things that can help you isn't working, because we are not always. Every day looks differently, and for us to expect that we're going to be the exact same way tomorrow as we are today is crazy. So, and sleep, relax, listen to yourself, and talk to somebody whenever you can. This episode has been so amazing. Always a quick reminder, always a brighter day ahead. Always. There's always something to be thankful for. And try to do that. Try to find gratitude in everything that you do, even if it looks different the next day. Every day, a struggle may be different as well. Find reasons to be thankful. It will help you alter your mood and just slow down during the winter blues.
Amen.
we're going to wrap this beautiful episode up. I hope you enjoy it because I always enjoy, connecting with these beautiful ladies too. Always a reason to get together with my beautiful cousins que la adoro, and I get to do this with. Y ya lo saben, guys, continue prioritizing your mental health is number one. Listen to yourself.
Yes.
Thanks to every single person that's taken the time to tune in to these episodes and supporting us. Remember, downloading is what gives us this fuel to continue going on. Downloading gives us the numbers to show that you guys are actually listening. I know there's people listening that are not downloading the episode, and not that it doesn't count. Thank you so much. But just click on that little arrow. It's an arrow that goes down y tú haces así, ¡pam! And it starts downloading. No te quita nada del teléfono. Just show us support in that way because it shows that you're actually tuning in. And again, that means the world to us. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube page on the No Todo Se Cura con Vex. You can watch us this episode, watch us laugh, watch our faces. We're kind of funny people. And remember to also give us any type of suggestions you may have. You can email us at notodosecuraconvex@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Hey there, podcast fam. Don't forget to click on the show notes and buy us a coffee. Your support not only quenches our thirst, but it also fuels our podcast with necessary subscriptions and equipment to keep it going strong. Every and any contribution means the world to us. Thank you for being a part of our journey. No Todo Se Cura con Vex loves you.